Hi Year 9, this is Mrs O'Hara. I'm going to be talking to you about GCSE photography, which is one of your subject options. Just to make sure you're aware from the outset that GCSE photography is a separate subject to GCSE art. You do get to choose which one you would like. We don't allocate it. This is an individual single option, as is the art course. You can, if you want to, choose both. Otherwise it's one or the other, and that's the subject you would get allocated rather than us choosing for you. So here's some background information on the types of careers you could go into as a photographer, all related to the photographic field. So taking photographs in a number of areas, from wildlife photography, landscape photography, architecture, commercial photography, wedding photography. The list is endless. Anything that is visible could be potentially photographed. So there's lots and lots of opportunities within this field. So during the course, you will learn lots of technical skills to do with the digital camera. We've got a range of Canon DSLRs, so that stands for single lens reflex camera, and they're for your use in class. You'll be taught how to use all the settings and the manual functions to get the best out of your photographs. The work that you do at home for homework shoots, you would be able to use your mobile phone, so there's no requirement for you to have your own expensive equipment. We've got studio lights within school, similar to the ones that you can see in the photograph here, and a range of backdrops, some tripods, and lots of props. So you will be taught how to use those. You don't need to have them yourself. You'll be exploring visual elements of composition, framing, and you'll also learn how to do digital editing on the computer using software like Photoshop. The course develops a wide range of transferable skills as well, which link to your other subjects and things that you'll move on to just in life in general. So things around time management, researching skills, where you're investigating the work of others and responding to it, presentation skills, analysing images and responding to those, visual literacy, and of course problem solving. So as a subject, GCSE photography is great if you firstly enjoy taking photographs. Kind of goes without saying, that's really important. You need to want to get that camera in your hands and take photographs of things that you see, notice, observe, both in lessons and also at weekends, because you'll have to do some shoots that require you to shoot on location. Also, depending on your personal choices for the direction your project takes, you need to be quite independent and motivated at seeing that through. So you might also be thinking about the fact that you're a creative person and you've got loads of ideas, but you would much rather be doing your image work with ICT, so with cameras and computers, rather than hand drawn. So this would be an alternative for the art course, because it is still a creative course where you get to explore your ideas, investigate the work of others, and then come up with your own shoot plans and creative shoots. Sometimes you'll be needing to do some editing on software. There may be an opportunity, depending on your own personal interest, for you to do more extensive editing. So that's more of a personal choice when it comes to your coursework. You should be motivated and committed to going out and about, as I've said, at weekends. You should want to improve your camera skills, and you should really enjoy looking at photographs and like to develop your ability to analyse a range of images that you look at. So the type of work that we cover in GCSE photography is really varied. We've tried to come up with lots of things to develop a wide range of different technical and visual skills. So you'll be covering things like portrait and still life photography that will be mostly studio based, where you use studio lighting. There'll be some shoots that you do on location as well. That will be using natural light. Then there'll be things like light painting, where you get to use a torch or a glow stick to create things like you can see in the image in the centre of the figure with the light movements. We'll also be looking at camera effects, doing things like slow shutter speed to capture movement. And as I've mentioned, there's Photoshop editing to a degree of your choice. Some students choose to just use it for cropping, adjusting brightness and contrast. Other students like to do the more complex edits. That's for you to choose if you want to take that idea forward. So here's a range of work that some of our students have done. Some of it's from inspirational images that we show our students to help give them ideas. There's some examples of edited work that's been done in Photoshop in school. There's the idea of going on location and taking your props to a location, or taking photographs of a model or a portrait on location. The studio lighting, using projections, thinking about using software editing to create repeat patterns as well. So a good range of subject matter to explore. So the way the course is structured is you start off in the first term looking at 4 themes of project. They are something that you continue throughout the coursework element from year 10 into year 11. So the opportunities given in these 4 skills-based projects are to give you an insight into the themes that you could explore and to develop your technical skills. So within these you'll get the chance to do things like different lighting techniques and using different functions on the camera. So you choose one of these to take forward into your coursework, and you get around about 10 months to do that. So I'm going to show you now the type of things that these themes cover, including examples from both our own students and photographers that have inspired their work. So altered scale is the chance to use props such as small models, toys, Lego figures, and shoot the figures within the location. So this is thinking about the environment as well as the props. You can also see that you can have the opportunity within this type of project to really go for it with the digital editing aspect, so playing around with scale as well. Horror is a chance to do something a bit dark and eerie, trying out different techniques with lighting, makeup, props, and again going onto location should you choose to do that. Confectionery is a mainly studio based project, which is giving you the chance to use lots of brightly coloured sweets, confectionery, and thinking about staging your shot with your lighting and backdrop colours. So this is a technical kind of camera setting project. Reflections gives the idea of using distortion to create an unusual representation of either portraits or the environment or an object that's positioned within the reflective surface. So lots of scope for creative ideas and photography within all of the projects that we've got. So at TLA, our students are able to use the department facilities during the lessons and after school as well. So I've mentioned we've got the digital cameras and we've got the lighting equipment. Students don't have that at home, so we offer that opportunity as after school sessions for access. There's also the tripods, other equipment that I've mentioned, and all the props. Students are encouraged to explore their own ideas and interests in the coursework unit. That's quite an important note, that students that are more successful really drive their own ideas forward. So the more motivated and committed you are, the better in this type of course. If you really enjoy the course and you want to continue with your photography studies, we also offer A-level as a subject option in year 12. So just to let you know, we welcome students of all levels of ability. You've not done photography as a subject before, we'll be helping you develop and improve your skills, in particular in that first term in year 10, and then supporting you as you move through your coursework. The main criteria is that you are enthusiastic and you put in lots of effort to your studies. If you do that, you can't go wrong. Homework is usually set every week. The course breakdown is 60% coursework and 40% an assessed unit. We often refer to it as the exam unit, but there's no written exam. It's a coursework theme that's set by the exam board that we follow over the period of about 3 months. So you get a whole term to work on that. It's a practical project. The GCSE options allow you to take both art and photography because they are completely different subjects. As I mentioned at the start, you choose, we don't allocate. That's going to be clear on your option forms and in the new brochure for this year that comes out too. Although useful, you don't need to have your own digital camera for the course. We do have 12 DSLRs in school, but mobile phones are fine for your homework. So if you've got any more questions, you can contact me, Mrs. O'Hara, on Microsoft Teams. There's just a little bit more of information at the end for you, just on the way the course is laid out over the 2 years. So year 10 being the time where students really learn the technical skills, become confident using the camera and lighting equipment, understand composition and framing, and then from those 4 themes you start working on your coursework in around about February of year 10, and you then have 10 months to complete this portfolio of work, which can either be as a digital portfolio or within a sketchbook. So the exam unit or assessed unit begins in January during year 11, and that is the last part of the course. It's the last 40%, and it's a practical project that you have a whole term to work on, and then produce a final piece at the end in controlled conditions, which is usually just after Easter. Okay, so as I've said, let me know if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much.